It's a beautiful day in Milwaukee, Wisconsin for a national championship game. We welcome you inside Kohler Engine Stadium, where Middlebury will take on Wellesley to decide the Division III Women's National Championship. And we cannot wait for this one. Hello, everybody, and welcome inside the broadcast booth. I'm Charlie Eisenhood, joined by Laura Osterland. And Laura, we have Middlebury chasing their second straight national championship after winning in December at the delayed Fall Nationals. And they'll be taking on a team that they know well in Wellesley that plays in their region in New England. What's it going to take for Wellesley to have an opportunity to try to get past this dominant Middlebury team?
Well, so I think it all comes down to taking the advantages that are given to them, taking all the opportunities for breaks that they can. Middlebury has not allowed any team to get more than one break off. And so I think if Wellesley can take advantage of the turns that might happen with Middlebury, then they have a shot at winning.
Middlebury in their semifinal yesterday against St. Olaf definitely turned it over on the offensive line, but they play such good defense. They tend to get it back. They've actually only given up a single break all weekend from their offensive line, and that's how dominant they've been. Wellesley on the other side getting the win over Carleton in a classic matchup. Wellesley having to come back late to beat Carleton, the favorite to make it to the final and play against Middlebury. I mean, I think we saw a lot of heart from that Wellesley team in yesterday's semi.
Yeah, it was just insane. They definitely picked up some pressure a little bit. They just made huge plays by the end. 100% effort all the way through. Insane game.
It was an incredible contest, and they had to do it largely in the second half without Josie Koo, their big thrower, who got hurt and had to miss the entirety of the second half. But players like Tess Dolan, number 0, able to step up as we see the players in their huddles ahead of this contest. And we'll talk more about the players as we move along through this game. The big star for Middlebury is Claire Babbitt-Bryan. We'll talk about her more in a bit. As we take a look at our weather right now, it's a little windier than it was to start the morning for the men's title game. Oklahoma Christian getting the win over St. Olaf. 59 degrees, pleasant humidity, sunny, a nice day for some Ultimate.
It is. Not much wind today. We were seeing a lot of that yesterday, and so should be a great game.
So the two teams played for the New England Championship at the regionals a few weeks ago, and Middlebury coming away with a fairly contested 2-goal win. So we'll see what Wellesley can do today. They are certainly the underdogs, as this Middlebury team getting in a deep breath before the start of the competition. And we're going to find out soon enough whether Josie Koo is going to be back on the field today for Wellesley. But really, they got contributions up and down the roster yesterday. You know, we saw big plays from Leah Black, Tess Dolan. You see Bella Steedley out there going to the line. And as we see, take a look, number 87, that is Josie Koo, and it looks like she will be taking the field for the first point of this game. And we will have to keep an eye on how she's doing throughout this contest. But she was warming up. Middlebury staying internally focused. And let's talk about Claire Babbitt-Bryan. We'll see her coming out of this huddle in just a moment. Number 8, the reigning 2021 Player of the Year, pretty much only playing offensive points. And that's how the depth that this Middlebury team has. But she is likely to be the best player on the field in today's game.
Oh, for sure. When she goes out and runs, she's just unstoppable, undeable. Just crazy good.
Very, very, very talented player. Would be one of the top players in Division I, and certainly a force to be reckoned with here in Division III. Thank you for joining us on this Monday afternoon or morning if you're over on the West Coast. And there is Babbitt-Bryan, number 8. And so many lauded stars on this Middlebury team. Cameron Umack, number 5, the 2021 Defensive Player of the Year, and a runner-up for Rookie of the Year. And it looks like it will be Wellesley beginning the game on offense. As we take a look at their O-line getting ready to kick things off here. And we are underway in the D3 women's title game. Wellesley typically runs a vertical stack. That's what we see early. Disc going out to the far sideline for Maya Collins. And lots of early touches for Josie Koo. Koo to Steedley. And that pass not on target. Maya Collins cannot haul it in. So Middlebury with an early break chance. And a tricky pass, trying to hit the crossing cutter with a fast forehand, and back to Wellesley. Black picks up. Gets it up to Annalise Paul. And into the end zone. It's a goal. Bella Steedley catches the opening goal of the game. Wellesley on the board, 1-0.
You know, I think this first point for Wellesley is huge. It's definitely sets the tone of the game. They were able to capitalize after Middlebury dropped. I think we'll be able to see a lot more of that today.
A nice job making the catch. Staying focused and concentrated to bring that one in. And then Paul sends it into the end zone for Steedley. And pretty good looking offensive point. I mean, they had the turnover, but it was a smart decision, just a misexecuted throw. And one thing, I watched the entirety of the Middlebury semifinal. They got a pretty comfortable win over St. Olaf yesterday. But they definitely turn it over with their D-line quite a bit. So we'll see if and when Middlebury starts to try to stack their D-line to try to get some breaks. But they really look to play deep lines, get rotation for all of their players. Our first look now at the Middlebury offense. Disc getting centered up to Keziah Wilde. And that pass to Babbitt Bryan tips off of her hands and goes out of bounds. So Wellesley with a break chance early. Similar turnover to the one we saw from the Whiptails a moment ago. Pass underneath to Steedley. Steedley getting a lot of unders early. Good hard undercutting from the Whiptails. And a shot to the end zone, just past the hands of Steedley. That shot going up from Savannah Carey, one of their key cutters. They see a lot of the same players out there for Wellesley throughout the game. Wilde brings it to the line. Player for Boston Wildcard, the mixed division and club. Neve Carty. Swings back around to Wilde. Low pass, dug out by Carty. Up to Babbitt Bryan. Babbitt Bryan airs out the backhand, and it's hauled in. Daria Kodika brings it in, the senior out of Harrison, New York, and Middlebury gets the opening hold on for their O-line, and we're all tied up 1-1.
Yeah, I think what we're seeing so far is a pretty even match. Yeah.
It does. It feels even so far, certainly.
So we'll see how long we can exchange holds and who can get the first break. I think that'll be one of the defining moments of this game.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on the wind. It is blowing mostly crosswind, but it is a little bit right to left. So downwind holds for both teams to start. And certainly blowing a lot less hard than it did yesterday afternoon during the semifinals, when the wind was a pretty major factor.
Yeah, that's for sure. I think we're still going to see a few, I mean, we've already seen a few missed throws because of that wind. And we'll still see that a little bit, but yeah, definitely give our players a little bit of a break.
High pass. Hauled in by Steedley. Steedley forehand gets tipped and then nearly caught on the second effort, but it will be Middlebury disc. Picked up by Jenny Bob Bizal Clark and given right back. Two very good defensive teams. Black hits Steedley. Steedley gets it up ahead. Now pass to the end zone, and it's picked off in traffic. Maddie Lander able to get the takeaway in between two cutters for Wellesley. Rachel Robinson-Zeller. Nice motion up this near open sideline. Lily Leish up to Cameron Umack. And now a deep shot connects. Lander finds Bizal Clark. Middlebury gets the first break of the game.
And look at that end zone celebration too. That, gotta appreciate that.
Classic pranksters. They're gonna bring a lot of energy, a lot of fun to the field. They don't have a traditional coach.
No, a lot of their coach right now is Claire Babbitt Bryan, who, when she's not on the field, is telling players what to do on the field, helping call lines. A lot of the players as well sharing that responsibility. They've got Steven Swanifer, who they rely on heavily, who is not their official coach, but yeah.
So a big point there from Maddie Lander, who had a pair of blocks on the play, and then through the assist for the game's opening break. Wellesley has been dealing with a lot of injuries, and we'll see if they can keep up with the depth of this Middlebury team throughout this championship game. Obviously good to see Koo back on the field, but just lots of little nagging injuries, some of their key players missing. See Tess Dolan getting a touch. Fires it ahead to Annalise Paul. Now up into the hands of Becky Chen, who's looking for Black and missed the throw. So Middlebury gets another opportunity. Full 70 required for Middlebury.
look at that. Some pressure on that mark, and it's back to Wellesley.
High pass is caught.
And that's Dolan.
Tess Dolan, one of the big stars in yesterday's semifinal win, always finds a way to get her way to the disc. And Wellesley gets the hold. It's tied up at 2-2.
Yeah, you know, Dolan, her teammates lovingly call her Roo as a kangaroo because she can just get big. She has maybe a 4-foot vertical, probably a little bit of an exaggeration, but you know what I mean. And
I mean, one of the shortest players on the team,
yeah,
but one of the springiest.
Oh, for sure. And I'm excited to see more of her play today.
Abbott Bryant talking to the O-line for Middlebury. We'll see lots of rotation from the players. It's not necessarily the same O-line out there every point. See Lori Chen, Wilde, Liz Crawford, Sarah Rifkin, Grace Valentine, Abbott Bryant, of course. Good flow from Middlebury. Abbott Bryant pump fakes the backhand. Rifkin looking to the end zone and out of bounds. Had Liz Crawford, the freshman, open along the line, but the pass pulls her out of bounds. Koo picks up for Wellesley. Big gainer. The upline space not quite as available, but Koo finds some room. Steps into the power position forehand, but floats it. Lots of players in the area, and it's Abbott Bryant who takes it away. You just cannot leave the disc hanging up in the air with Abbott Bryant in the area. But an overthrow from Middlebury, and now it's going to be a short field for the Whiptails, who are trying to get this game back on serve. Zipped ahead to Dolan. Strike cut successful from Steedley. And another strike cut. And it's caught at the back of the end zone. A laying out Jenny Chan brings it in for the Whiptails, and they're back in front 3-2.
Yeah, that's a huge break for them. Because as we said at the beginning of the broadcast, Middlebury has not allowed that very often. So they've got it early on.
I mean, literally that is the second break that the Middlebury offensive line has given up this entire weekend. So from 1 to 2, and it happens here early in the first half, we're back on serve. Great catch at the back of the end zone from Chan. And I'm surprised. Middlebury's defense is going to have to make some adjustments. They've been giving up a lot of open side unders and upline cuts.
They have. I think they're looking to take away the deep space. But, yeah, they need to tighten up a little bit if they want to really punch things in.
Well, let's talk a little bit about this Whiptails team. They weren't supposed to be in this game. I mean, I don't think many people had them pegged to make it all the way to the championship, and certainly they were the big underdogs yesterday against Carleton. what's made the difference for them? What's allowed them to get not only, through the pool play rounds into the bracket, but to get here to the final?
That's a good question. I think we're all kind of thinking that. I personally, I think it's their mentality. They're in it all the time. They want it bad. They seize the opportunities that they get. And I think they're underestimated by their opponents, which...
And certainly they play with no fear. They did not look like they were just going to let Carleton beat them yesterday. They were down 3 goals late in the second half. They came back as we see some traded turnovers here. And now it's Wellesley with a chance for a second straight break, but this pass goes too high and over the head of the intended receiver. Throw going up there from Annika Wohlberg. Sarah Young is target, but some adversity here for Middlebury. And it's always a little different when you're playing a regional rival. A lot of familiarity. Not that often you see regional rematches at the D3 College Championships. They pretty clearly avoid having rematches in pool play. And a missed pass up the line. Grace Valentine trying to find Babbitt Bryan. Now a deep shot immediately. Wide open. Oh, but cannot be brought in. Koo was there and just slightly mistimed the jump as she was taking a look down at the line. And Middlebury catches a break. What a beautiful upline throw. Forehand to the end zone, connects. Neve Carty in for the goal. And you can see why Babbitt Bryan is so important to this team. I mean, what a perfect pass up the line to set up that power position throw to Carty.
Yeah, wow, look at that. She was so close.
Wow, big missed break chance.
And we got that perfect read, the clap catch.
So we see Wilde out there on the D-line, and take a look. There's Babbitt Bryan. Looks like she's going to stay out there for the point. So we're starting to see some of the top players crossing over here for Middlebury, really for the first time all weekend. That's the luxury that they've had, generating some early leads against most teams, but we're on serve here in the final.
Yeah, I think that shows Middlebury is realizing that if they want to win, they can't play comfortably like they have the whole tournament.
Sure.
They've got to give that fight the fight that they give.
And they have to understand that the depth brought them here, but it may be the Stars that have to bring it home. Steedley. Another good pass up to Dolan. And a pick called.
Julia started? Yeah. I'd say one. I don't know. Sure. One.
Say one? Cool, thanks.
I definitely ran into you. I'm not sure. I think I was close enough to you.
Okay.
I'm happy to ask.
Okay, so you want to come to us?
Yeah.
Okay, so the call on the field is pick, and the observer call is a pick. Okay? Yeah. Where?
So, observers ruling it a pick. Players getting an opportunity to compete with observers. 4 observers here on this final. Great for division to have this opportunity. Dolan making the catch under pressure. Black looking to the end zone. Dolan tips and can't make the grab.
See 3 attempts there from Dolan. Again, giving everything she's got just for the disc.
UMac, probably the team's best defender, taking Dolan. Probably watched some of the tape yesterday from the semifinal. Saw how important she was to the offense. So a strong line out there for Middlebury as they look to get their second break of the game. Maddie Lander wide open, unmarked, and yes, into the end zone. It's a score. Babbitt Bryan's got it. Taking a look in the mirror, and it's 4-3 Middlebury.
Now taking a look back at that. You see attempt, she gets big. Maybe she's not tall enough. She needs to grow maybe.
But then just
Wildy
attacking in transition.
And that throw from Wildy too, just.
Babbitt Bryan into the end zone for the Pranksters. Early impact, already on the board with a +3. And I think you can see on that point why it's going to be an uphill battle for Wellesley, because
it will.
When Babbitt Bryan crosses over, you know, she's making a lot of things happen for them, both defensively and offensively. Difficult to have an answer for a player like that.
Yeah, I mean, we saw 2 defenders on her, and she still towed that line for the goal.
Let's take a look at some of the early plays from Babbitt Bryan. This backhand huck connecting in the back of the end zone with Kotica. Then that throw up the line, setting up this beautiful pass and the assist from Wildy. And then going in the other direction, she races down the field, gets open along the front of the end zone, and manages to keep those feet inside the end zone. Reigning player of the year in Division III.
Yeah, and it's very clear why she is the player of the year, I think. Definitely one of the strongest players out here this weekend.
Wellesley already answered back once. Just down 1 break. Kind of a double team here for Middlebury, and it's a call of some kind.
How long ago was the pick? Was a couple counts before? Okay, so coming in on stalling 5. Start with a defensive check. Go ahead.
Yeah, looks like we're seeing maybe a bit of a junk zone here. Definitely forcing Wellesley to work through their handlers a little bit more. Make a little backward movements.
Black, Dolan, Steedley in the backfield. Oh, and some contact. Becky Chen getting hit in the back of the head by UMac as UMac was trying to reposition downfield. Unintentional contact there from UMac. Let's take another look.
Yeah, it looks like it's that shoulder there.
Yeah, that's not a very good play by UMac watching it back. Head coach Marshall Goff comes out to talk to Chen. Looks like she'll be able to stay in the game.
Is this where you were when it happened? Okay, we start with a defensive check on stalling 1.
And it's knocked away. Bizal Clark gets a hand on it, but immediately given back. Wide open there was Brooke Laird, but the throw not catchable. Black will pick up for Wellesley. Ooh, and a good find through the middle of the zone, but then throws it right to the defense. Does Steedley. This throw pops up, and that looks like it was caught inches from the ground. So Middlebury retains possession. And this throw does not connect. We've seen a lot of this from their D-line. They force a ton of turnovers, but they also give it back a lot.
And there we see that zone again that's kind of frazzling the Wellesley offense a little bit, I think.
And nice idea there from Steedley, but leading the receiver too much. Middlebury, another break chance. Reset does not connect. Black picking up. Pretty aggressive, 2 players near the disc. Could see Wellesley start to try to call double teams. Disc flipped to the outside for Chan. Now coming back across the grain to Dolan. Past midfield now, the Whiptails. And a shot kind of gets caught in between, going to the end zone, coming underneath. Savannah Carey can't get there. So Middlebury, another opportunity on this long point with a lot of turnovers, as there's another one.
Yeah, I think it seems like they're starting to get a little tired, making those throws that aren't as wise. Their offense can't run it down as well.
And bobbled and dropped by Steedley. So another short field chance for Middlebury. This is their 4th opportunity on this point. But right back to Wellesley as Dolan plays great upline defense and knocks it down. And a low pass can't be hauled in by Steedley. Bizal Clark picking up for the Pranksters. This throw pops up into the wind and ultimately dropped by Molly Gallagher. They had a chance at it. It came back to them, but just could not haul it in. And so back and forth we go. And it's points like these that can really feel like they define games, who ends up scoring. Tipped and caught, and some contact. UMac doesn't want to call a foul, so play continues. Upline flow to Lander. And then another turnover. We'll see if one of the teams wants to try to air out a huck to just try to change the field position.
Right, I mean, that's certainly one strategy, to rip it big, even though it's a turn, and then keep it down at that end zone for defense.
Middlebury's had a lot of midfield and shorter possessions. UMac gets it to Laird. Comes right back to UMac. And a good underneath cut, but Grace Kellogg drops it.
Yeah, look there, it just bounced off her hands.
Dolan, always aggressive to the disc. Now nicely weighted forehands. And Steedley does a nice job to keep her feet in bounds. Had to cut her deep open, but doesn't put enough air underneath the disc, and it's right back to Middlebury, although now the field position battle is in Wellesley's favor.
Now let's see if they can keep it down there. And they do, right as I'm saying that.
The turnovers piling up on this point. And a foul called off the disc.
What was your stall count at?
I believe Grace Kellogg may have called an offensive foul. Jenny Chan.
I think it was like body, so I called foul.
Okay.
And I think that my body was in place, but wasn't extending or pushing. It was just in my face.
Okay, so the call is a foul contest.
Okay. Do you want to go? Yeah.
Okay. So none of the observers had a view on what happened here, so you have to decide on the field.
Okay.
So if it's going to stay with a contest, what's the?
5. They just said 5.
Oh, it's 5. Okay. So you're good here. Everyone else is good where they are. Okay. No, it's 5 because I think. Yeah. It's contested.
So my mistake, Jenny Chan calling the foul on Kellogg, who claims that she had body position already on the field, so ends up going back as a contest. Stall will come in on 6. On a big grab from Dolan to save possession, and now she'll air it out to the end zone, looking for it all, and she's got it.
Score. And that's Savannah Carey, Scary Carey, as they call her.
Scary Carey gets the job done and closes out this long, drawn-out point with at least 12 turnovers. And Wellesley evens it up at 4 apiece. And that's a great throw to the back of the end zone from Dolan. And these kind of gritty points, crucial in these games.
Yeah, real grinds there. And that's what we like to see up here in the booth. See a lot of back and forth.
Commitment from both teams. And certainly Middlebury is going to have to think about how they manage their lineups, because Wellesley is playing tighter rotation so far than Middlebury, and of course that can pay dividends in the second half. But let's take a look at the stats there for Tess Dolan. That's a big assist right there on the board, and lots of key plays that aren't going to show up on the stat sheet.
Yeah, I mean, talk about that last save.
Here is the
right
save.
There.
And then immediately stepping up and launching the forehand assist. And we're back in live action. Babbitt Bryan laying out to save possession. Looked like she maybe was slightly shaken up on the play, but immediately just taps it back in. Oh, Babbitt Bryan calling a foul, claiming that Annalise Paul may have stripped the disc.
Stop rotation.
And I don't think I did. I did not feel any pressure on the disc when I grabbed it.
Okay, do you want to come to me for an opinion?
I would contest the foul.
Cool. Just contested foul.
So we'll
let's
send
take
it
a look.
back?
I would like to actually go to.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. I saw no.
So I don't know. What do you see,
it's,
Laura?
It's
didn't
hard
look
to tell.
So it is white possession?
I think it was
so just
in her
check it, ground check it,
fingertips,
and then we'll start playing.
but I don't think it was a foul.
I don't think she had stopped rotation. It's a good call from the observers. Babbitt Bryan definitely had a hand on it, but did not complete the catch before the defender knocked it away. So Wellesley with a break chance. Backhand huck into coverage. Oh, and it goes
Carey.
right into the hands of Carey in between two Middlebury defenders to the end zone and in for the break.
For bookends.
Annalise Paul gets the block and the goal, and Wellesley gets it back on serve. 2 breaks apiece.
Yeah, I mean, that's huge for Paul. Matching up on Babbitt Bryan, a player who's just
Doing things
major
like
plays.
that.
Yeah.
Here it is one more time. You can see Babbitt Bryan touches the disc, but never stopped rotation.
No, I think Paul just had a little bit better positioning, and that ensured the D.
So a big break. Paul getting the bookend score. And this Wellesley team has had to really persevere over these last few years. They were not allowed by the university to compete in the fall, so they weren't able to play in the series at all. They weren't in regionals,
No.
didn't play at the college championships. Of course, Middlebury winning the tournament. And so a lot of this team hasn't even really played much yet. The freshman and sophomore class is really only getting back on the field this spring. And the players actually asked head coach Marshall Goff, could we go to nationals? And he said, I don't know. We haven't been on the field. It's impossible, but let's work hard and let's see what happens. And look, here they are in the national final.
Yeah, which is. Looks like we've got an injury in the field.
Yeah, Savannah Carey. I think maybe this was a call, not just an injury.
That's a valid call. Okay.
Or like, we rate her.
Sure. Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know if that's a pick or she just
I think you.
I'm sorry, okay, yes.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't call a foul.
Make a call. Okay. Foul called.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about it or no?
I thought that I did not initiate contact. I was just doing a strike up line cut. And that you initiated contact.
I honestly feel like we were just both not looking. If am I going to be honest?
Okay, that's fair. Do you want to go leave it contested? Go to the observer. What do you want to do?
We can go to the observer.
Okay.
Sure, go ahead.
Observer ruling. It is not a foul because you were behind. You initiated contact. So it'll be that your disc, your ground check. When.
So Carey there clearly falling down, but was trying to catch up on the upline cut. So pretty clear call for the observer.
Mm-hmm.
To the end zone, and it's in. Wilde finds Babbitt Bryan. And we're back even up at 5 apiece. Clean point for the Middlebury offense. Just a nice little S cut there from Babbitt Bryan.
Yeah, and a nice snag too. Double hand, 2 hands, just right in front of her.
So Babbitt Bryan continuing to fill up the stat sheet. And we're going to see another big crossover point from some of the top players on Middlebury, both the assister and the goal scorer back out there for this D point. And we saw Middlebury really give the Whiptails trouble with the zone on their previous O point. See if they go back to that look.
Yeah, you know, I think if I were Middlebury, I'd be milking that zone for as many times as they can get the turnovers. And
I mean, they forced at least 6, 7 turnovers. Wellesley finally able to punch it in and then answer back right immediately with a break. And they do come back with the zone. Very aggressive on the swings. Good lateral motion from Wellesley. Koo. Up into the middle for Steedley. Black.
yeah, we're seeing nice patient throws here, and I think that's helping. It's gaining yards.
Carey looking ahead to the end zone, and it somehow gets through into the hands of Josie Koo after being tipped by the Middlebury defender. Wow. Well, a much better zone point.
Yes.
I mean, obviously Middlebury got the chance there at the end of that point, but confident.
I mean, we didn't see any turns from that zone.
So a big layout.
Tip, and Babbitt Bryan looks like she was there too, and overall, just that's a impressive catch.
So we're still on serve, both teams with 2 breaks. And a lot of defense in the game so far. 18 blocks for each team. But only an almost block on that last point. Wilde laying out almost, certainly getting a piece of it, but unable to knock the disc down. It pops up and stays available for Koo to catch the goal from Carey. Wilde looking for Babbitt Bryan, but it's broken up. Annalise Paul anticipating the shot to Babbitt Bryan. Wellesley looking deep. Goes over the head of the defender into the hands of Paul. Almost looks like it caught a little air bounce. Paul, stall count getting high, has to get rid of it, and there's nobody home. So a great opportunity lost for Wellesley. Middlebury's offense back with it.
Yeah, if you're Wellesley here, you want to keep them from just boosting it down the field, as they like to do, especially when Babbitt Bryan's on the field.
And a mis-executed throw too far inside gives Leah Black an opportunity to break it up. Steedley. Back to the backhand. Oh, what a snag. Maya Collins hauls it in. Wellesley gets the go-ahead break. So they're now up a break and up a pair, 7-5. Wellesley 1 point away from taking half.
Yeah, and that's huge.
Well, this is just good defense. Leah Black able to break up the play, and then Steedley fakes that forehand and then gets the break backhand huck off, and a great left-handed grab from Maya Collins.
I think we're really just seeing focus there. Wellesley's got their head in it, and they are just tracking down the discs and having success with that.
Well, and it's really been about the execution so far, it feels like. The offensive execution. Of course, Wellesley had that very long, drawn-out point with lots of turnovers, but their D-line offense has just been better than Middlebury's.
Yeah, and I mean, past that long point, we have seen clean offense from most of the points afterwards.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights so far from Bella Steedley, number 1 for Wellesley. She gets in the front cone. She's had so many touches in the backfield, really key part of what they do. Great forehand and backhand, connecting at the back. Just a moment ago, this highlight reel backhand to Maya Collins.
Yeah, that was a great find.
And you see the 6 turnovers on the stat sheet, but that's because she's a high volume player right now.
Yeah.
I mean, she's getting every other at some points.
Yeah, I mean, high risk, high reward. You've got your handlers. Yes, they will generate most of the turns, but they also will generate lots of those, especially lots of those big throws, lots of those assists. And
Wellesley's feeling good, huh?
they are.
I mean, they got nothing to lose. You know, they made their way all the way to the national final. They're playing a team that's beaten them this season. The number 1 overall seed, the defending national champions. Wellesley's playing loose. How will Middlebury respond to being down a break in a game? I mean, they have not faced this basically all season.
Yeah, and Wellesley's just been knocking off the 2nd seed, 3rd seed. They are looking to really shake things up.
Yeah, but a little bit of an ambitious look there from Babbitt Bryan, throwing into a covered receiver. And that's good defense down on the other side from Wellesley. So they get another break chance and a chance to take half here on Middlebury. Josie Koo has been very good. Had some turnovers early in the semifinal yesterday. Right back to Middlebury. That's good defense. Wilde. Inside forehand, connects. Sarah Rifkin is there. Sophomore out of Seattle. And Middlebury's O-line rights the ship after the turnover, quickly getting it back and punching it in.
Yeah, I think now we'll just see if if Middlebury's D-line can generate another break chance. Or if Wellesley can have that another clean hold and take half.
The Pranksters, such a long history of competitive college ultimate, one of the great teams in the early years of the sport. Take a look at Sarah Rifkin. She holds in the goal. And their men's team also playing very well, losing in a highly contested universe point game in the semifinals against Oklahoma Christian yesterday. And of course, this women's team trying to go back-to-back after winning their first D3 championship as a program in December.
Yeah, you know, if they go back-to-back, we'll have back-to-back winners in both divisions. I don't know if that's ever happened. I don't know if you know that.
In both divisions, I mean, I'm going to look it up, but I don't think that's ever happened. Not in Division III and probably not in Division I either.
I mean, because it's already rare to have back-to-back champions.
Steedley tries to find Dolan, but it's knocked away. Great defense there from UMac. Reigning Defensive Player of the Year. Wilde shooting. Fabba Bryan not there. It's a good idea. Fabba Bryan with steps. Leah Black picks up. Wellesley on offense trying to take half. Steedley looking deep. Double coverage, good defense from Middlebury. Bizal Clark and Babbitt Bryan combining to knock that away. Give and go action from Babbitt Bryan. Good defense from Wellesley. Inside forehand. Knocked down. Maya Collins says no. Black just past midfield. Steedley looking deep again.
Round.
And again, great defense. Lots of pressure on this Middlebury D-line right now. Some individual one-on-ones, but Neve Carty able to hold position and get the block. Chance number 3 for Middlebury. Can their D-line offense convert? Babbitt Bryan takes off out of the handler space. Instead, the shot goes up into the hands of Carty. Carty to the end zone. Oh, and look who's there. It's Tess Dolan. She read that like a book. High pass brought in by Steedley. Steedley threatening that backhand huck. Resets to Koo. Jenny Chan to Dolan and back to the outside for Black. Savannah Carey chips it ahead and hand blocked. Elise Chan getting a read on the release point of Steedley and knocking that forehand away. And now good field position for Middlebury with chance number 4. Babbitt Bryan to UMac, back to Babbitt Bryan, who makes a catch under pressure. Looking to the end zone, Wilde's got it. That's a break for Middlebury. And we're tied at 7.
Yeah, that was just hard fought, both teams. I think Middlebury's stepping it up a little bit.
Both teams making big plays. Dolan coming in over the top, knocking it away.
Really earning her nickname there as Rue. And that hand block right there.
Great play from Elise Chan. Babbitt Bryan catching under pressure. Doesn't call the foul, and that's why that can be so advantageous. Able to step up and throw it and get it into the end zone for Wilde. And she's all smiles. And a big point coming up, 7-7. Wilde, a goal, 3 assists. Just a pair of turnovers, impressive for someone who's looking deep early and often.
Yeah, and looks like she and Babbitt Bryan are both staying on the field, determined to get that break for half. Determined to pad their stats a little bit more, I think.
So a big point here. This game's back on serve. Wellesley receiving to start. Middlebury will receive to start the second half. Wilde with the forehand pull. Matchup defense for Middlebury. Not going back to the zone. Jenny Chan gets it out and into the hands. That's Becky Chen making the play, but then a turnover at the front cone. But a foul is called. Annalise Paul.
I think I did. Okay, I'm just going to confirm with.
So the observers are going to talk about it. Let's take a look at it. There's a great grab from Chen.
Great save there.
And then to the front cone. Definitely some contact there from Neve Carty. Is it enough to constitute a foul against Annalise Paul?
Okay.
So we can go ahead and pick it up right here.
Okay.
And the foul call is upheld.
Yes.
You have to check it in where it happens. Yeah.
Laura, what do you think about the call here?
I mean, I think I'd have to look at it again.
Yeah, it was
to me, it
close
seemed
play.
It seemed like there was contact. I don't know if she would have had to play on the disc otherwise, like if it wasn't a foul.
Pick called here. Let's take another look. I mean, definitely some contact on the back. Another angle on the play. Yeah, I mean, Carty creating contact at the same time that Paul was trying to make a play on the disc. So observers calling it tight. Stays with Wellesley as they try to take the half here. And into the end zone, Black gets it to Becky Chen, and that is half for Wellesley. A back and forth first half ends on serve with the Whiptails going into the break up 1.
Yeah, this is huge for Whiptails. I don't know if Middlebury's been down at all this weekend. It's very, very tight.
And great point for Becky Chen, who made a couple of difficult contested catches. And wow, what a first half. Wellesley giving Middlebury all they can handle so far in this one.
Wellesley just making all those flashy plays that we're seeing.
Both teams coming up with some big plays. Wellesley hitting some deep shots, getting some layouts. How about Babbitt Bryan? She's been great. Wellesley leading Middlebury 8-7 here at the half. We'll be back for the second half. Don't go anywhere.
What would it look like if a competitive sport didn't mean a choice? Between beauty and brutality, style and steel. Between calling yourself out and clawing to stay in. What if there was a game that found balance? Between spirit and sport, agony and elation, like a disc dancing on air.
We now have evolved into a team sport of a game called Ultimate. It stands by itself in that it is like no other game.
Between perfect passes and devastating drops, like the balance we so desperately needed, we had no choice but to create it ourselves. Long live grit and grace. Long live Ultimate.
There is a place where we are us at our best.
A place where everyone is welcome.
Regardless of age, shape, skin color, or anything else that tries to box people in.
A place where we defy the odds, defy the naysayers,
and even defy gravity.
A place where it's accepted that success
doesn't belong to the faint-hearted. It belongs to the brave, to the determined.
A place that knows grit, knows grace, knows bright lights, and knows empty bleachers.
A place where we remember to laugh.
Where we learn to trust.
Learn to high-five strangers.
And eventually, even learn to fly.
A place where character, community, and competition
are all as balanced as a disc in flight.
That place isn't in a stadium or on a field.
That place is in the spirit of our players.
Because we don't just play Ultimate, we live Ultimate.
Welcome back to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where the Wellesley Whiptails lead the Middlebury Pranksters 8-7 here at the half. I'm going to send it down now to Hunter Lang, who's standing by with Wellesley head coach Marshall Goff. Here's Hunter.
I'm here with Wellesley head coach Marshall Goff. Marshall, you got to be feeling really good about the first half that your team just put on.
We played a pretty good first half, and I think we can play better.
The big story coming into this game was Middlebury's O-line, which had only gotten broken once the entire tournament so far. You guys put up 3 in the first half alone. What contributed to kind of the defensive intensity that your team brought, turning over this Middlebury O-line a lot?
We were just able to get pressure in some places. We slowed down a little bit of the handler motion. We got one on Claire, who we know is going to get hers. You know, they got great players over there. If we can get a couple of those, we'll have a chance.
Another big story coming into the game was the injuries that your team is facing, especially Josie Koo, better known as Butter. How big has she been for this team, fighting through, what we can only assume is a pretty painful injury after her not playing the end of the Carleton game last night?
Yeah, she's pretty uncomfortable, but she's making it work. And she's so important to the team. She's a leader on and off the field, and everybody trusts what's going on when she's on the field. It's that good.
Any kind of second half adjustments that you guys are going to try and make to hopefully open up a lead a little bit and clinch Wellesley their first title?
Well, that's getting a little ahead of ourselves. I think the big thing right now is we've had some chances at the end zone we didn't put in, and like we talked about before, we want to play as few points per point as possible. If we can get it down to 1 point per point and we're scoring at the end of it, that's a good thing.
Awesome. Thanks, Marshall. Good luck. Charlie, Laura, back to you guys.
Great to hear from Marshall Goff, one of the top coaches in the Northeast. His team leading Middlebury 8-7. Second half action coming up.
The last 50 years have seen a lot of positive change
around a whole range of important issues.
And some things remain reassuringly unchanged.
Like the spirit of our game.
Ultimate is 50 years young and still a perfect circle
of fair play,
athletic pursuit,
and camaraderie.
In fact, Ultimate was a social network
before social networks even existed.
Respetamos nuestras diferencias
and understand the value that they add.
The revolution of the disc in flight continues to prove
that there's nothing we can't achieve
when we
pull together.
Long live Ultimate.
Larga vida Ultimate.
Long live Ultimate.
Let's put our living stereo stylus in this groove.
And that one is pulled down.
Josie Gillette, inside forehand to Warder, he goes up and gets it.
Going away with a blade and a great one-handed catch.
Caught by Chang.
Great layout block from Samuel. Alan Villanueva climbing the ladder and then jumping off the ladder. That one pops in the air and a great grab. Looking to break to take half. Radowski to the end zone and the layout catch.
Welcome back to Ultiworld's live coverage of the 2019 D3 College Championships. From the center of the sun, College Station, Texas.
Abby Chang going for it all.
Absolutely, just ripped it.
Unmarked. And she puts up a beautiful shot.
Welcome back to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Wellesley up 8-7 on Middlebury at halftime. Charlie Eisenhood, Laura Osterlund with you. And we are underway in the second half. Middlebury beginning the second half on offense. Game is on serve. Both teams with 3 breaks in the first half. Rifkin finds Wilde. Wilde, forehand to the end zone, just a little too much for Lori Chen.
And now we'll see if Middlebury can keep it down there, or if Wellesley can capitalize and go up another point.
Break would be huge here for Wellesley. Zippy flick, doesn't connect. Grace Valentine gets it to Rifkin. And Rifkin's pass is broken up. Jenny Chan continuing to put her fingerprints on this game. But another turnover quickly for Wellesley. Keziah Wilde gets it to Rifkin. Babbitt Bryan. Gets rid of it and immediately goes strike. Grace Valentine to the end zone, looking for Rifkin, but throws it out of bounds. So already another multi-turn point.
Yeah, another chance for Wellesley.
Deep shot, testing Babbitt Bryan. Easy interception. Wilde to the end zone. Oh, what a snag. Babbitt Bryan hauls it in. And it's a hold for Middlebury to start this second half, 8-8. Just over 30 minutes until the soft cap.
And I think we're going to see a lot more plays like that in the second half with Wilde and Babbitt Bryan just running the show.
I mean, they've been the clear best players on the field for this Middlebury team, and now they're starting to look for each other. That's a great connection.
Yeah, there's a reason why Babbitt Bryan was our player of the year in the fall.
Look at the numbers. It almost understates her impact too.
Yeah, you don't see you see the scores, but you don't see the in between there.
Right.
And sometimes that's a lot more impressive than catching a goal.
I mean, you see, she throws the reset, immediately strikes up line. Easy offense, 15 yards.
Yeah, and then just perfectly sets up the thrower for the score.
Both back out there, Laura.
Yeah, and that's a crossover again for Babbitt Bryan, who's an O-line player, but.
Well, after letting the D-line play the depth most of the weekend, we're starting to see Middlebury really tighten things up as the championship is on the line. Familiar faces out there for the Whiptails. Steedley gets it picked off by Babbitt Bryan. Quickly to Wilde. Into the middle for Bizal Clark. Huge layout grab from Babbitt Bryan to save possession. Back to Wilde. She shoots it. It's a hanger, and it falls in between two cutters. So a missed opportunity for the Pranksters.
Yeah, that's a tough one to track because it sails. Looks like the wind might have picked up a little bit too. We're still seeing those effects.
And that disc goes high, tips off the hands of Tess Dolan. Rue unable to come up with the catch. Backhand shot to the end zone. Oh, maybe a layout could have brought that one in. But instead, it's turnover for Middlebury. Whiptails offense struggling here to start the second half. Good find up the line.
It's a drop.
And Jenny Chan just can't hang on. Maybe looking down at the feet or the line. Wilde. Gets it to Carty. And a drop back the other direction. Rare mistake from Babbitt Bryan. Steedley. Can feel the pressure ramping up on the players. Great underneath defense from Middlebury.
And that's Cameron Umack, who's our defending defensive player of the year.
Stacked line out there for the Pranksters. Wilde. Right to the front of the end zone. Umack in for Babbitt Bryan. It's a go-ahead break. 9-8, Middlebury.
Yeah, I think we're definitely seeing Middlebury ramping up their offense, going harder on defense, and they're looking to ride it out and secure the win.
Umack getting the block and then the assist and fired up, fist pump. Babbitt Bryan excited, and you know, we really didn't see Wellesley get the offense going at all at that point. I don't think they got past half field at any point in that multiple possession point.
No, and that was completely thanks to Middlebury's defense. They put so much pressure on that they just forced those turns, got a few Ds.
Babbitt Bryan doing it both ways, goals, blocks, leadership. And this O-line for Wellesley has been poised. They already played from behind yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's really anyone's game still.
Chan swinging to Black. Nothing there. Black has to put it up. This could connect. It does. The bailout pass brought in by Annika Wohlberg. Now Steedley to the end zone. In for Dolan. And it may not have been pretty, but it works for Wellesley.
Yeah, I mean, whatever works, that's, you got to roll with it.
Well, that's just smart decision making in the backfield. Instead of trying to force a really hard reset, send it downfield, give your cutters a chance to make a play, and that's exactly what happens from Wohlberg. And Steedley up the line for Rue. So all tied up again, 9-9.
Yeah. Wellesley. I think they're really looking now to maybe go up again. Maybe this point, just score that break and then.
They've just been answering back every time,
They
haven't
have.
they? Every time Middlebury looks like they're going to start to take command of the game, Wellesley comes up with a well-timed hold and then gets the break back. So we'll see if they can do it again.
You know, that's been kind of their narrative for this whole tournament, especially in the semifinal game and the quarterfinal game. Just answering back to point deficits, getting breaks, not all at once, just one by one. And it's gotten them this far. Maybe it'll give them a win this time.
Trying to take that all the way to the national championship. And an immediate turnover for Middlebury, and it will be a midfield possession start for this Wellesley D-line, which, well, looks a lot like their O-line. A lot of the same players out there. Deep shot going up from Black. Nobody's home. And Claire Babbitt-Bryan had it covered up either way. So reset, restart, possession beginning on the goal line for Middlebury. Wilde. Pass off the sideline from Rifkin to Wilde. Babbitt-Bryan in isolation. It's almost what's called the German offense, a 3-1-3. Letting Babbitt-Bryan work in isolation at the front of that host stack.
Yeah, we're just seeing lots of give and goes there.
Rifkin, Wilde, Babbitt-Bryan, the only ones to touch the disc so far on this possession. Wilde going deep. She's got Babbitt-Bryan, and it's a goal for Middlebury. The Prankster Stars getting all the touches as they go up 10-9.
You can't expect anything less from them, those two.
Wow. Wellesley did get the turnover early in the point, but just no answer for Babbitt-Bryan. Great flat flick from Wilde. Nice effort on defense from Wellesley defender. Wolberg trying to get into the play.
Yeah,
Wolberg brand new to Ultimate, if you can believe it. She's a freshman, first year playing the game.
Yeah, and the team itself, they haven't played, as you said, they didn't play tournaments this fall. So she's been playing, as Marshall Goff said, for 12 minutes.
Yeah. It's really remarkable the run this Wellesley team has been on. Middlebury has at some points felt inevitable, but Wellesley has made that so clearly not the case. I mean, this has been a competitive game since the start. Wellesley on offense. They began the game starting on O, so Middlebury is up a break. But at this point, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's really just about who's going to get the last break. Quickly past midfield go the Whiptails. Nothing there for Steedley, so she shoots it, and it's dropped in the end zone by Black. Oh, she had it. In and out of her fingertips. Wilde picking up for the Pranksters. Pretty much all the same players out there every point right now.
I mean, at this point, it's getting down in crunch time. You gotta.
Oh, it's dropped by UMac. Routine under. Right back to Wellesley. Black needs somebody to get open. And too high for Dolan. UMac in coverage.
That's something you don't see a lot.
I mean, she got her hands on it, but it was well above her head. Middlebury working. Trying to extend the lead to 2. Babbitt-Bryan and Wilde. Valentine up the sideline. And a missed pass there. Natalie Dodson can't connect on the reset. And that was starting to look scary for Wellesley. Instead, they get it back. Deep shot right away. A little too much. Steedley had steps and was on the correct side for the throw, but a little too much power. What a battle. Babbitt Bryan open on the under. Bounces back now, Wilde. And another throw to Dodson. She can't handle it. Her second turnover of the point. Black to Steedley, who just does not stop cutting. Steedley, stall count getting high, tries to go up the line, but it's picked off. Babbitt Bryan is there, and now the shot goes up to Babbitt Bryan, and no problem on the layout. You knew she was going to get that one. In their own half. Babbitt Bryan, relentless motor. Backhand to the end zone, doesn't connect. And a big collision at the front cone. Looks like the players are all right. Elise Chan not making a foul call. Steedley and Chan colliding after the disc arrived. Picked up by Black. Comes to the middle for Dolan. Koo. Up to Steedley. Koo has been very steady throughout this game. Dolan maybe hand blocked. I think UMac got a piece of that.
No, I wouldn't be surprised.
We saw a point like this in the first half.
We did.
And remember, Wellesley came away with the hold. Very similar type of point here. Feels like a critical juncture in this game. See an injury holding up play here.
Looks like Chan's coming off.
So Chan comes off after the Middlebury substitution. Babbitt Bryan, another free under. Deep shot goes up for Babbitt Bryan. She's there. Uncovered cutter into the end zone. It's a score. Maddie Lander hauls in the break. Middlebury goes up 2. After all those turnovers, finally, the Pranksters put in what could be potentially a decisive goal in this game.
Yeah, now they're up 2. They're gaining momentum. I think if they carry this momentum further through, they'll increase that point margin a little bit more.
Opportunities there for both teams. Wellesley had just a couple slight overthrows that could have been goals. Middlebury, some mistakes giving it back, but it's Babbitt Bryan who's doing a lot of the hard work, initiating cutter, getting open in the deep space, continuation throw for the assist. And I mean, it does feel similar to yesterday's game that Wellesley played in against Carleton, where They were down a little bit late, and they just stayed in the game. And they have stayed in the game so far. Will it be enough?
Yeah, I mean, they came back from a larger point deficit in that game. At this point, they can for sure come back.
So let's take a look at this combination we've seen today with Wilde and Babbitt Bryan connecting over and over. And whether it's an assist and a goal pair like right there, or they're working together in the offense, Babbitt Bryan to Wilde, Wilde to Babbitt Bryan. This time it's Wilde in for the goal. And how about Babbitt Bryan bringing it in? That forehand, such a weapon for Keziah Wilde.
And that read from Babbitt Bryan just also very much weaponized. You've got these two, they're a lethal combination when they're together.
And staying out there for another big deep point. Timeout there for Wellesley.
Looks like we've got Dolan back on the line, Carey back on the line. It's really a line that is trying to get it done.
And a quick block for Middlebury. They'll take over in midfield, trying to open up the largest lead of the game. Nothing there for Wilde. And finds the inside forehand to Lori Chen, and then looking to the end zone, not there. So a reset for the Whiptails. But their offense has been shut down on these last couple of points. Can Josie Koo, playing hurt, marshal a hold. Great grab by Dolan.
Another snag by Carey there.
And looking on the reset for Chan, and a turnover going the wrong direction. So now it's a red zone possession for Middlebury. Precarious moment here for the Whiptails. High backhand to the end zone is caught, but out of bounds. So Black will pick up for Wellesley. They have not been able to string it together. Good pressure from Middlebury on the unders and the resets. And Steedley gets bumped and quickly calls a foul on her undercut.
It was a foul. It'll be your disc.
So foul call upheld by the observer. And that's Maddie Lander in coverage for Middlebury. Deep shot. Not going to come back in bounds. So this will move back up the field where it went out. And this could mean a lot of yardage given away. And indeed, it's going to come basically all the way back to where the disc was thrown.
Yeah, you know, we're seeing a lot of throws go out that side of the outside of the field.
And it comes all the way across on the flick and then into the front of the end zone. Lander catches the goal. And that is the largest lead of the game. 3-goal lead now for Middlebury. 10.5 to go till the soft cap.
Yeah, they're definitely gaining some speed here, some steam here. And it's showing, and Wellesley is not as strong looking as they were in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, do you think it feels to me like we've seen already Middlebury, even in the first half, crossing over a lot of their top players. Feels like a defensive adjustment at halftime. Seems like they've started to take away the underpasses and try to force the deep shots, and we really haven't seen Wellesley looking like they want to take those very much. And that's made it difficult for their offense to find any kind of flow.
Yeah, I'm guessing their halftime talk was about how they can stop those easy throws, and so making those adjustments,
Maddie
that's
Lander.
what does it.
Yeah, Maddie Lander, 2 goals, 2 assists, 2 blocks. And this Pranksters team trying to go back-to-back. And the D3 division hasn't been around all that long. It's been less than a decade since USA Ultimate started the division for schools that have 7,500 students or fewer, separating them out from their Division I counterparts, the big public universities and such. And we did see a couple of back-to-back winners in Division III in the past. Rice winning back-to-back in 2014 and 2015, and then Eclipse following it up with a pair of wins in 16 and 17. Middlebury trying to become the 3rd team to make it 2 in a row. As the upline pass just past the reach of Chan. Deep shot going up. It's picked off by Steedley. More of a depth line out there for Middlebury after the break on the previous point, trying to give their top players some rest. Deep shot does not connect. Savannah Carey looking to the end zone, but overthrowing her cutter. And you asked earlier, Laura, if we've had back-to-back winners in both divisions in the same year. That has not happened. We have yet to see, until this year, 2022, back-to-back winners in the men's division. It's Oklahoma Christian winning earlier against St. Olaf. So could see history made if Middlebury gets the win today.
Yeah, that would be historic. And I mean, I don't know if it's just because they're in the same school year. I think that might contribute.
It's a good point. It's not your typical back-to-back wins happening about 6 months apart instead of a year.
I mean, nonetheless, still impressive.
Well tracked by Rachel Robinson-Zeller. She swings to the sideline looking for Kellogg, but goes over Kellogg's head out of bounds. So now very short field for Wellesley. And a foul call as Becky Chen. I'm sorry, that's of course Bella Steedley, number 1. Coming up line, both players kind of neck and neck to the disc. Let's listen.
Coming to us. The ruling is it was indeed a foul, so possession, it will be Wellesley. So it's coming in with a check.
So observer calling it a foul. Steedley will get possession on the goal line. High pass, doesn't connect. Chan put the disc into an open space, but had too much on it for Wohlberg to catch up to. Another multi-turn point for this Wellesley O-line. And you start to wonder if fatigue is becoming a factor. They've had the same players out there almost this entire game.
Yeah, I think that's a key factor. I mean, we've got players who are tired from playing 3 games yesterday. A few injuries reported.
And this would just be a crucial break. Deep shot knocked away by Leah Black. Such determination from the Whiptails, clawing to stay in this game. And right now, all the big players for Middlebury getting rest on the sidelines on this long point. An extra break would be a cherry on top. Speculative forehand is intercepted. Zeller goes up the line to Dodson. Dodson to the end zone, and that is the dagger. The depth D-line gets the job done. The lead is 4, and Middlebury can smell a second straight title.
You know, I wouldn't count Wellesley out just yet. We saw yesterday they were down 13-10 and came back to a slew of breaks at the very end, showing they still have fight in them. I think if we can see some fight in this next point, they'll be back in it.
We'll see if the O-line can grind out a hold. Bizal Clark with another goal. And this is a great opportunity for some of the younger players on this Middlebury team to get some big moments on the field. Just one freshman on the team for Middlebury this year. But it's been an unusual time in college ultimate because of the pandemic. Last spring's college season canceled. Ended up having a very truncated championship series in the fall.
Yeah, one freshman, but several rookies.
Exactly. You've got sophomore rookies out there.
Yeah.
Getting some playing time in the national title game. A quick turnover from Wellesley means that it's off to the races for Middlebury. Dodson's pass doesn't connect. Bizal Clark in traffic, can't haul it in. Black going deep. And Steedley can't come back to the disc to make the catch.
Yeah, you can really see the fatigue setting in on these Wellesley players.
And zipped into the end zone. That's another break. Catherine Umack gets the goal. Middlebury now just 1 point away from a title. Clock running down to zeros. The cap will not matter at this point. It's a game to 15. And Umack has had a great game. taking a lot of the toughest defensive matchups and also contributing on offense.
Yeah, she is just essential, I think, to their D-line. Again, Defensive Player of the Year in the fall. And we can see why. Looks like we've got a kill line out for Wellesley with Dolan, Carey, and of course Koo.
Well, it's do or die time for the Whiptails. They'll have to score 6 straight to win this game. A tall task, but
crazier things
they
have
got
happened.
4 in a row yesterday to beat Carleton Eclipse. Middlebury sticking with the depth. Lots of rest for Babbitt Bryan and Wilde and the rest of their typical O-line starters. Chant pump fakes the backhand. Comes underneath the Koo. Oh, and dug out beautifully just in front of the goal line and then into the end zone. What a catch from Carey. And she gets it into the end zone for Steedley. And so Wellesley gets the hold.
Yeah, very, very clean point there. That's what they needed to rebuild some of that momentum that they lost.
Yeah, it's been a difficult slog for the team. I mean, you got to go back. You remember it was 8-7 at halftime with Wellesley holding on serve, and they lost the lead at 9-8. Then it was tied back up at 9-9, and then Middlebury scored 5 straight. So it has been a difficult string of points. The O-line, 12 turnovers since 9-9, and that allowed Middlebury to open up a lead, get their bench back onto the field.
Rest up their key players, too, at that point.
Exactly. And now they're back out there for this O-point that they hope will be the final O-point of this season, but it's not going to be that easy. Wellesley gets the turnover. Jenny Chan tipping it away along the sideline. Can Wellesley stay in this? It has to start here. Black shooting into triple coverage. Easily intercepted. Claire Babbitt Bryan with it. Rifkin looking for a reset. And finds Wilde, who makes a nice layout catch. Yeah. Liz Crawford throws it into the defense. Tess Dolan is there. Seems to be in the right place at the right time defensively. She's got a couple blocks in this game and a timeout, Wellesley.
Yeah, you know, I think all of Dolan's blocks have come from her getting up and just swatting it down.
So let's take a look at some of the plays from Tess Dolan in this game. Mostly been on the offensive side. Right place, right time. That's what Rue can do. And how about that? Big flick hook. One of the best we've seen this game.
Yeah.
Coming through, making the block.
Huge block there.
Against Babbitt Bryan. Crucial. Coming in underneath, catching it at the front cone. And the big overhead snag. She's got some style out there.
Yeah, she's definitely a very Very pretty player to watch.
So she hopes to help lead the team to another comeback victory. So coming out of the timeout, it will be Steedley with the disc, covered by Wilde. Skip swing, connects, and a missed throw up the sideline. So right back to Middlebury. The timeouts have not been favorable to the offensive teams today. Inside flick, zip to Crawford. Rifkin gets it to Babbitt Bryan. 1-2 with Wilde. Good space creation. Lori Chen looking to the end zone. Overthrows Liz Crawford. Back to the Whiptails.
Yeah, Wellesley's got another shot here. Score another break, and the game's not over quite yet.
Koo checks it in. Steedley still cutting hard. But the throw ends up in the hands of Babbitt Bryan. Carty swings it to Wilde. Wilde looking for Babbitt Bryan. Almost had the highlight finish. It does get a lot closer than this, Laura.
Just hitting the deck there.
So Wellesley back on offense, Dolan underneath, and then missing the upline continuation. So the turnovers continue to pile up for Wellesley. They've got to find some rhythm offensively. Wilde picks up. High pass to Babbitt Bryan, well handled. Beautiful backhand, and it works! The Middlebury Pranksters are back-to-back Division III champions. The third time we've had back-to-back champion in Division III. Liz Crawford hauling in the goal from Babbitt Bryan. Dolan giving it her all, just cannot quite get a piece. And in an all-New England final, it is the #1 seed, the defending champs, who win again.
Yeah, history has been made.
We'll see if it can be replicated at the Division I championships in a week's time over Memorial Day weekend. But this weekend, it's all about Middlebury, Division III, and what a performance from Claire Babbitt Bryan, who has an excellent case to be back-to-back player of the year, speaking of back-to-back.
Yeah, showing highlight after highlight. Huge plays. Excellent throws, great execution, all around just all-star.
And Wellesley has nothing to be ashamed about after an incredible performance. Team's going to cheer each other. I mean, for them to persevere not only against the odds, but through the injuries and play a very competitive final until late in the second half when the legs were getting tired and the defense was clamped down. It was a great performance for the Whiptails. Take a look at the final bracket here at the D3 College Championships. A lot of great programs. Look at Wellesley's run. I mean, they had to come all the way from the pre-quarter.
Yeah, and that's very rare too, a pre-quarter team making it to finals. That's really an impressive feat.
Well, I hope you'll stay with us. We're going to hear from one of the Middlebury players in just a moment and enjoy the final moments here at the Division III Championships. It's been a fun weekend. As the teams cheer together and know each other well from up in New England. Laura, you've been reporting on the division all this weekend. What are some of the standout storylines for you coming out of this tournament?
Yeah, I mean, the clear storyline has been this Wellesley Whiptails just coming in after a loss in their first round pool play and dominating ever since. I mean, Middlebury just strong tournament, all tournament. We're talking about other storylines. We've got teams just rolling the field with pool play. I think St. Olaf did well. I think Carleton Eclipse also did well. The other two semifinalists, just all around great play all weekend.
And it feels like the difference here really may have been the depth for Middlebury. We saw the top lines go toe-to-toe for most of the game, and Middlebury had the opportunity to rest some of their top players later in the second half, and the fatigue continuing to add up on the legs of the Wellesley players as the teams cheer together, and something you don't see a lot of times in college sports. Great spirit from these programs.
Yeah, going back to what you just said, Middlebury won that with their legs. They gave their star players time to rest and showed that, hey, all of their players can make great plays on the field, not just the stars. They relied on all of their players, and I think that was key.
So we're going to take a break, but we hope you join us for an interview in just a moment. 15-10, Middlebury defeating Wellesley. We'll be back in just a moment with one of the champions.
What would it look like if a competitive sport didn't mean a choice? Between beauty and brutality, style and steel. Between calling yourself out and clawing to stay in. What if there was a game that found balance? Between spirit and sport, agony and elation, like a disc dancing on air.
We now have evolved into a team sport of a game called Ultimate. It stands by itself in that it is like no other game.
Between perfect passes and devastating drops, like the balance we so desperately needed We had no choice but to create it ourselves. Long live grit and grace. Long live Ultimate.
There is a place where we are us at our best.
A place where everyone is welcome.
Regardless of age, shape, skin color, or anything else that tries to box people in.
A place where we defy the odds, defy the naysayers,
and even defy gravity.
A place where it's accepted that success
doesn't belong to the faint-hearted. It belongs to the brave, to the determined.
A place that knows grit, knows grace, knows bright lights, and knows empty bleachers.
A place where we remember to laugh,
where we learn to trust,
learn to high-five strangers,
and eventually even learn to fly.
A place where character, community, and competition
are all as balanced as a disc in flight.
That place isn't in a stadium or on a field.
That place is in the spirit of our players.
Because we don't just play Ultimate, we live Ultimate.
Welcome back to Milwaukee. Middlebury has just claimed the Division III championship, their back-to-back wins here at the D3 College Championships. Hunter Lang is standing by with the captains of the Middlebury Pranksters, Jenny Bizzall-Clark, Claire Babbitt-Bryan, and Rachel Zeller. Let's send it down to Hunter.
I'm here with the Middlebury captains. First of all, congratulations, back-to-back titles in 5 months. That's an incredible accomplishment. What went into, the stretch heading into Norco, and then, keeping that same level of intensity and competitiveness heading into this 2022 final?
I think it's just all about kind of a lot of having fun. Also, a lot of work goes into it. But I think that our team really loves spending time with each other, and so that makes it pretty easy to do things like practices and fun workouts and stuff.
Yeah, I think this spring season, after winning in the fall, we just had the opportunity to keep working on our systems that we had already gotten really good at even more, and just systems, and that really brought us here and the depth of our team.
Yeah, we added seven individuals to our roster since our fall season, which allowed for an increasingly deep team, but then also just a lot of new awesome energy both on our O and D lines, which was really hugely contributive.
This was the first game that really, challenged you guys. You've made it through most of the weekend kind of unscathed, blowing out a lot of teams, but you were down at half in this one. What was kind of the messaging to your team at halftime? Because you guys don't have a coach, so I assume it was the three of you kind of looking to rally the troops.
I mean, Claire was just having a great time, and she was just like, isn't this so fun? Yeah. And that really brought us energy.
I'd just like to shout Claire out also for playing this entire game with potentially a broken finger on her throwing hand. And we came out of half knowing that we had an entire other half to get more breaks and pull ahead. And that was our plan, and we did it.
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to remind the team at half that we're here because we want to have fun together, and that's really that's what brings us together. That's what makes our team, is the fun and the energy that we bring. And so I bet it's pretty obvious that everyone just cares so much about our team and our program, and I think sometimes we just need a little bit of a reminder once things get stressful or intense that's the root of why we're here. And so I think that was really helpful for everyone at halftime in terms of messaging. Yeah.
Any final thoughts on the game, on the season, on your graduating seniors who go out with back-to-back titles? Can't really think of a better way to leave College Ultimate than that.
Yeah, we go back to our graduation and
next Sunday, 9 seniors will be graduating.
Yeah.
It's been an awesome 4 years with the Pranksters. And just so excited to be ending it this way with them. It feels really, really awesome, and to get another season with this one.
Yeah. I don't have anything else to say. Just really, really excited about this team and the love that we have for each other. That's really what brings our program together. Just want to reiterate that. It's the depth and the love. Yeah.
Well, congratulations again. The Middlebury Pranksters 2022 champions and their captains. Charlie and Laura, back to you guys.
Thank you, Hunter. And big congratulations go out to the Pranksters for their win as we take a look at some of the game highlights. Laura, this was an awesome matchup. Middlebury pulling away in the second half to close out back-to-back championships.
Yeah, it doesn't come better than this. Two very closely skilled teams. Middlebury just coming out ahead.
Best team of the year
moment.
from start to finish. They've been the #1 team in the country, and it was pretty clear that they were going to be the favorite coming in here this weekend, and they did what they had to do, and they got a lot of their roster playing time while they did it. The fans loved it. We loved it. Thank you so much for tuning in to our coverage here of the D3 College Championships. Thank you to our producer, Aiden Shapiro-Layton, our director, Ryan McHugh, all of our camera operators and crew. For Laura Osterland, I am Charlie Eisenhood, signing off from the D3 College Championships. The Middlebury Pranksters are the 2022 champions with a 15-10 win over Wellesley. We'll see you next weekend for D1.